visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Orrett Connor.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. What are your plans for this holiday weekend? Today, of course, is the 4th of July. We celebrate our Constitution Day on the first Monday of July. So this coming Monday, we will be celebrating Constitution Day. Meanwhile, like I said, what are your plans for the weekend? If you don't have any, we have some strong suggestions for you if you want to know more about it. Then you have to stay tuned and listen and possibly talk to us after this break.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037. Or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon again, and welcome to Talk Today. I am your guest host, Orrett Connor, and some of you will probably be saying, well, how long is he going to be guesting for? He's been here since March. No, I'm still here and enjoying it immensely as well. So, folks, the stage is set. The dancers are fired up, and the rhythm is calling you. Don't miss Radiance Dance Studio's electrifying recital, which is happening on Saturday, the 5th of July at 7 p.m. and Sunday, July 6th at 5 p.m. So in the studio with me to talk more about this, we have Miss Jessica Eden, who's the owner and artistic director of Radiance Dance Group. Also in the studio with us, Miss Patrice Donalds, who's the social media manager as well as an instructor at Radiance Dance Group. Ladies, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so first of all, tell us about Radiance Dance Studio and the group, about its formation, the vision behind it, and its successes so far.
Well, so far we've been 6 years in operation. It's a dance studio for children aging from the age of 3 to 17. They get taught various dance styles. We do contemporary, we do jazz, we do hip hop, we do Afro, Caribbean rhythms, which is a fusion of the wide variety of Caribbean styles and dances that we have available to us. They also do creative movement for the younger ones. And jazz. So there's a lot of dance genre they're learning about, along with also skill building, the character building. So it's not just about the movement, it's about what it builds in them as an individual and as more positive and stronger young ladies and men, because we do have some young boys dancing with us.
Okay. So before we get into the media part of things, Ms. Donalds, I want you to talk about your role as an instructor as well.
Well, having been taught, both Jessica and I having been started with Miss Reed, we have a firm foundation in folk, in traditional forms, in modern contemporary, and what we hope and what I hope to do is to introduce that discipline, that strong foundation that we received, so that they can understand that dance is joyful. It's hard work, but it's joyful as well too.
Okay, so what can we expect at these events? And we'll talk more about the dates and everything else afterwards.
Of course.
Okay. Well, this year's theme is Unlock the Beat. So it's about the exploration of music in its form, also about self-expression. The dancers, especially older ones, have been encouraged to help with the choreography. So they have created some pieces and we have collaborated and created together. You will see a mixture of music and songs that you like and enjoy to some that's very, may not be familiar, but quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
Of course. The students, well, really just to touch on the part about encouraging students to create. Every dancer loves to dance and to be able to perform someone else's choreography. But if you want to extend your skills, learning how to craft movements into a dance piece is another way. Learning how to transmit your ideas about a theme, about an incident, about something that's important to you in your life. That takes a whole nother level of skill. And we encourage dancers to explore that for themselves from they start, whether it be learning how to mirror each other, whether it be adding a movement to a piece of choreography that we start. It's all to build that skill, because it's all good and well to dance, but can you do it for yourself? Can you do it for someone else?
So the boundaries are open in terms of
creating
development and creativity.
Yes, definitely creating and expressing themselves. For myself, and I'll speak for myself, dance has been a mainstay in my life for several decades. I won't age myself. I will not age myself today. It's been a mainstay in my life for several decades. It's been the thing that has helped me through some tough times, some important times, and it's helped build focus. And that's one of the things that we want to encourage parents to do. It's all good and well to give your child many activities to do, but if you give them an opportunity to focus on developing a skill, that focus and that dedication transfers to other parts of their lives through their educational, their academic studies as well.
So those parents, those families who may have an interest in Radiance, let's give out some information, how you can be contacted, where you're located, and everything else.
We're located in Countryside Shopping Village.
Okay.
They can always visit our website, which is www.radiance.ky, or they can drop an email to info@radiance.ky. They could also reach out to us on WhatsApp, 91601 46. I forgot the number. So that's they could even, a lot of them, it tend to be word of mouth. They either know a child who's performing, know the parents, and kind of find out more that way too. So we just encourage the community to come out, see what's out there. And we have people who have come to every show who have followed the dancers and have seen them grow. I truly enjoy seeing the dancers grow from when they come to the studio shy, not willing to quite talk yet to you because they don't know who you are, to seeing them just blossom, and they're all over the place and they have so much to say, so much ideas they want to release. And it's just wonderful just to see when these dancers grow into themselves and become confident individuals.
And what are your hours and days of operation at the studio itself?
Our hours tend to be between 4 and 7 during the week, and on Saturday it tends to start from 9 until about 4. Okay. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we're going to get into the more media details about the events that are taking place on Saturday as well as Sunday, the 5th and 6th of July, respectively. We'll talk about the location. We'll talk about the ticket sales. And Ms. Eden, you've already mentioned the fact that, so many people follow you from year to year, event to event. So that means that you have a cultural following, already. And that is good to hear. Folks, please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. The topic on this segment of the show is the 6th annual dance show Unlock the Beat, being put on by Radiance Dance Studio. And in the studio With me this afternoon, we have Miss Jessica Eden, who's the owner and artistic director of Radiance Dance Group, and Miss Patrice Donalds, who's a social media manager, as well as an instructor for the group as well. I'm going to let you know that there will be a ticket giveaway during the show. 2 giveaways, 2 tickets each for Saturday's performance only. That's tomorrow, Saturday, the 5th of July. And the reason it won't be for Sunday, because Sunday's practically sold out by now as well. And you may want to win these tickets early, because before we know it, I'm sure by the time the show is over as well, Saturdays may be sold out. Hopefully. So we are talking about the event itself and what should be expected. Share a little bit more in terms of the synopsis of the show. So you can join the movement, get ready to groove with their dynamic dancers as they take you on a journey of self-expression, which you heard Ms. Donald speak about earlier, and musical exploration with a diverse range of styles and genres. Unlock the beat, transcends boundaries, and ignites passion through the universal language of movement. Creativity, unity, and indomitable spirit of dance will be showcased through breathtaking choreography, dynamic formations, and stunning visual effects. A dance performance that encourages everyone to find their rhythm and embrace the magic of dance. So we talk about music being a universal language. I guess that dance in itself can be placed right alongside music. Well, they're intertwined. They go hand in hand, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
When you think about how babies respond to music before they can move and stand, and the minute that they are able to start walking, what do? They dance.
Yes.
You know, so the two are definitely hand in hand. Music touches us to our soul. Movement comes from our soul. So the two originate from the same base, and it's. I don't think that people realize how cathartic, how healing, how healthy it is to just move, whether or not you're moving in time to the music. And that's why I think we encourage everyone to take a class from whatever age you are, whatever health stage you are in, whether you're going to move in your seat or you get up and dance. Movement is healing. Music is healing.
And again, the ages that you cater to at Radiance Dance Studios are?
From the ages of 3 years old to 17. And our oldest group, which we call it senior performers, they are actually the apprentice group for the Cayman Islands National Dance Company. So as they get older, they can transition into an adult group. And the transition will be much easier because they have been training for that. Yeah.
Great. So let's talk about the numbers of students who will take the stage on Saturday and Sunday. About how many you're expecting?
We're looking at well over 100. So you're looking at I think about 14 different groups.
We have 4 main groups and about
members.
14 different class styles.
Yes. Yeah. So 4 main groups, 14 different class styles. You have the tiny ones, the shining stars. You've got the ones that are slightly older, the rising stars.
So we have tiny stars, shining stars.
Yeah, there we go.
Rising stars and stars of tomorrow. So it's 4 main groups we have then. Then we have our junior performers and senior performers who get to do more of the community performances. The other groups tend to do our Christmas show in December and the annual show at the end of the year.
Okay. And how many pieces will be showcased at Saturday and Sunday?
I think I counted about 24
Yes,
about 24 different pieces, but they're all short. The show is looking to be a good 2 hours.
Yeah, a little bit over 2 hours with intermission,
Yes.
but it's a solid 2 hours there.
Yeah, so it's a full night of entertainment. The tiny dancers will win your hearts from the moment they step on stage. They will prepare you for the older dancers, and by the time you get to intermission, you will be dancing in your seat. I can guarantee that.
And can we talk a little bit about the various dance genres?
Genres. So our tiny stars, they do a creative movement, which is to prepare them for just awareness of their space, awareness of their body movement. And that creative movement touches on ballet foundation and expressive movement. Then they also do Caribbean rhythms, because we have to make sure they are still rooted in our culture. We never want to forget that. We have our shining stars who do Caribbean rhythms. They do modern contemporary, which is a freer style of ballet. It just allows for more room for creativity. They also do jazz.
Hip-hop.
They do hip-hop, which all the kids tend to really enjoy. They do acro, which is becoming a thing for the younger generation because it combines dance and gymnastics. Our older ones, they get to do Afrobeat, which was something new this year, and they have really went flying with it. Yeah,
they've really enjoyed.
They enjoyed. I think I've touched all the genres that we do.
Yes.
Yeah, for all the groups.
In terms of music, though, we cover a wide range of music. Yeah. You've got, the pop music. You've got the reggae. You've got some soca in there. There is soft rock, ballads. And then
we got some Latin in there too.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And some touch of country pop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There must be a whole lot of preparation that goes into this. When do you actually start preparing for this particular event? I think this is the sixth year. This is your sixth year.
Yeah. So it's a regular for us because we enjoy being on stage and now passing our passion on to the younger generation. So classes start in September, and for 3 months they prepare for the December show. Some of those movements they learn are then further advanced and mastered for the June-July show. So in January, they start preparing for the end of year show. So December, they get a taste of the stage for those who are new, and a refresher for those who are familiar to the stage. And then come again. They go full force come after the Christmas break.
Yeah.
So it takes about 3 to 5 months to get everything going.
And then on top of the technique preparation, you've got the costuming, you've got the music selection. I think every dance teacher is going to stop and think, oh wait, there's so much more than that. There's preparing the music, the costumes, the lights, the concept. What I think most instructors will build on whatever they've learned for the Christmas show and either modify it or add to it or transform it for the June show. So they do a lot of repetition, but good prep for them so that in June and July they're not stage struck. They don't fear losing the memory of whatever it is that they've done. And it really, I have to say, from technical rehearsal to show, it's like 180 degrees in terms of their stage presence.
Wow, that sounds good. So, folks, I want to remind you that there are going to be 2 sets of tickets given out. The first set, 2 tickets, we're going to the first person to call in, and of course you have to have something nice to say about the Radiance Dance Group as well, but the first person to call in will get a set of will win a set of tickets. We have about less than 3 minutes before we go to a commercial break. So if you call in before a commercial break, tell us what you plan on doing on the weekend. And if you know something about the Radiance Dance Group, then tell us about that as well. And you can win 2 tickets to Saturday's show because Sundays. And we already have a caller. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
I will be the first caller and the first winner. I know the owner Radiance Dance, and I enjoy him very much. I think she's doing a good job.
Thank you. Great.
Jessica Eden, hello. I don't know Jessica, you know me, you know who I am. I don't have to boycott it. My wife there, but know me.
I think I know this too. Who this is as well.
I know Miss Meredith. They used to run to my good friend. I cooked your house at a time.
Oh yes, I know you.
Father-in-law, my favorite. Emily, was the best and still the best.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Sorry.
I tell her I know her mom asked her a couple of weeks to go out to Cheddar. She come and hug me up. Okay. Good old person, make good tamales.
I can attest to that. Huh? I can attest to that. She does.
And I know your grandmother Becky too.
Wow.
You know my whole family.
Major connections there.
Okay, please leave your details with Mr. Paul. And we will ensure that you get those 2 tickets as well. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Caller. We're going to take a commercial break. And then when we return from the commercial break, because this segment will end at 1 o'clock, we're going to take the 6th caller. The 6th caller after the commercial break will win the 2nd set of tickets. So don't change that dial. You may want to, I don't think there are many rotary phones still around, but you may want to put Radio Cayman on speed dial if you're interested in winning the 2nd set of tickets, because we will be taking the 6th caller after the commercial break. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Join us on July 10th at 5:30 p.m. for the BRAC launch of the Seamen's Registry at the Veterans and Seamen's Association Hall, as Celebrate Cayman invites seamen and their families to honor the vital contributions of our seafaring community to the Cayman Islands. Experience historical displays, hear inspiring speakers, and explore interactive exhibits. Plus, be among the first to visit the new Seafarers Registry website. Mark your calendars for July 10th. Exhibitions and activities will continue through July 12th. Let's come together to celebrate our maritime heritage.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. On this segment of the show, we're talking about the Radiance Dance Studios presentation of its 6th annual dance show entitled Unlock the Beat. That conversation is taking place with Miss Jessica Eden and Miss Patrice Donalds. Paul, you'll have to let us know when the 6th caller comes in as well. I'll give you some information in relation to the performances. Saturday, the 5th of July, 7 p.m. and Sunday, the 6th of July, 5 p.m. at the Hartwell Theatre. Sunday's show is practically sold out, so availabilities still remain for Saturday's show. The tickets for Unlock the Beat at the Hartwell Theatre on Saturday and Sunday, they can be purchased at Radiance Dance Studios, and you heard that's they're located in Countryside Plaza. Also, the Audiophile Group, Winners Circle, Styles with a Difference, or you can hit them up on WhatsApp, and that number is 926-1826. So you don't really want to miss the show. I think, ladies, you want to talk a bit about registration and open enrollment in the future, those persons who have an interest in joining themselves or having their children join in, child or children join in as well. Let's give that information out there to our audience.
So after the show, we tend to go on a break. This year, we're having a master class in August on a Wednesday, and we'll be introducing some new genres, new that we would normally not present in a regular class. So that will be August the 6th, 13th, and the 20th for ages 5 to 17. There are 2 different time slots. And our registration and open house for new possible dancers, if you're interested, will be on August the 30th, which is a Saturday, from 10 to 1 p.m.
Okay, I think we have the 6th caller on the line. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. Do you know about Radiance Dance Group? You have anything good to say about them? Anything that you've learned from the show? You can repeat that as well.
No, I only hear that it's good, you know.
Okay, you only hear that it's good. Do you dance yourself? Do you enjoy dancing, or do you have family members who you believe that will enjoy this event?
Yeah, I like dancing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that means that we can expect some dancing in the seats from you?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. That's awesome. Well, congratulations on winning your tickets. We hope to see you on Saturday at 7 p.m. sharp, because we start on time.
Okay, I appreciate it.
And if you want, I guess you can identify yourself when you get there as one of the ticket winners from Radio Cayman's talk show.
Please do.
Okay, I sure will.
Okay, please leave your information with Mr. Paul Akal in the control room there, and they will make arrangements to get those tickets to you, and enjoy yourself, on Saturday at the show as well.
Okay.
Congrats.
Okay, ladies, we want to make sure that we have covered everything. So if we have to repeat things, no problem with that whatsoever. I want to ensure that you get the important points out there as well about the show, but also about your ongoing endeavors and, what you do. Because this morning we had a discussion about mental health. We had 2 ministers in the studio, and there are so many ways that people can find self-expression, and you talk about dancing here, which may help to relieve some of the stresses, take some of the pressures off what people, are feeling, as well. I don't know if you have a view on that.
Absolutely.
The psychological effects of
Absolutely.
dance and music.
I will share with you that in the last year, I've had several persons within my close family or circle pass away. And 3 alone just in the last 6 months.
Wow.
And I have to tell you, I will give my hats off to Jessica and to Miss Reed, because if it weren't...
Keep saying Miss Reed. Let's give her a first name, because most
Miss
of the
Lorna Reed.
Miss
Lorna Reed. Miss Lorna Reed. Yeah. Well, everyone, even if they call her Lorna, they know her as Miss Reed. Just being able to come to dance and have that constant, even on the days when I didn't feel like it, was part of why I can stand here now, not falling apart. No one understands truly how hard it is to grieve, but when you have the support, when you have a community, and we are definitely a community that loves on each other, and we annoy each other, but we love on each other a lot. There's always lots of eating and lots of laughter and lots of hugs. It is important whenever you're going through any tough time in your life to have something that you can use as a constant, a routine, something that will alleviate the stress from your mind, but also just to give you something to look forward to. That, I think, is more important than anything else. And the movement, I can tell you, many of us come to dance feeling heavy, and at the end of the session, we feel like completely different people. The movement moves your mood. It's documented, it's proven, they've studied it. And a recent study shows that women are 4 times more likely to have health issues if they're not able to express themselves. So why not dance?
And can you speak a little bit about the camaraderie within the studio?
Each day is a different day in class.
It certainly is.
It is. Some days we do feel heavy. We do feel each other's stress. We do feel the gloom. But once the music starts and we start to move, then it becomes something different. We laugh at ourselves. We laugh with each other. That's the best part about it. Yeah. And laughter in itself helps us just to kind of realize that we can get over everything. There are days when we are extremely focused and we are intense into our session. But for sure, each day at class is a different experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you perform to just pre-recorded music or live music as well?
Oh, we've done both.
Yeah, we've done both. But we tend to do mostly pre-recorded just because we don't have musicians that we can have in the studio during sessions. Yeah.
At least not on a regular basis.
Not on a regular basis. If we have a musician, is because it's for a specific dance that's been requested by a client, that then we cater it and we kind of work in collaboration within a time frame.
But calling all musicians, if you'd like to come and be a regular, please.
Okay. Now, I noticed one of the dances that we didn't mention here, I'm not sure, the quadrille. Is that a part of your repertoire as well, or
Not this show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the dancers have learned it. The older dancers have learned it and have performed it on numerous occasions. But for this particular show, it just never fit in, so it wasn't included.
Now, you usually find that you're able to build on each performance. So this is your 6th one, right?
Yes, it is.
So I would imagine that you have moved from strength to strength. Can we sort of like compare and contrast when you first started to where you are and what's going to happen on Saturday and Sunday?
Wow, that's a great question. That is a fantastic question. I have witnessed some of the same dancers who are now in the senior performers witness their transformation, their strength in their technique. Some of them are now choreographing. With the group that I work with, which is the Rising Stars, which I've seen a marked difference in the way they interact in class from when they started in September to how they are now. the progression is basically at each student's pace. You know, we encourage them, we push them, we challenge them, but in the end, their own development is going to be guided by how much they allow themselves to take to the learning, as well as how much they give back in the class. But you spoke earlier about the camaraderie. That too that builds on itself. Each class is usually built of students who either go to school together or in the class they form their own sort of little groups, and that builds not just their social skills, their confidence, their self-expression, and all of those skills build on their ability to learn in the classroom, in their academics. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there, because that is in and of itself is a major milestone for any growing child.
One of the things that we didn't mention was the price of the tickets. And when I look here at the prices, they're reasonable when you consider, my daughter was here recently, and she likes to go to Governor's Beach, and sometimes she'll walk over to one of the nearer hotels there and, have a burger or something, $25 for a burger. So the tickets here for adults, it's $30.
Yes.
And for children under the age of 15, it's $15. Quite reasonable. Shouldn't be any stress on the pocketbook whatsoever or the checkbook whatsoever.
Absolutely. And these are ticket prices that have held for a number of years for yourself. Yeah. So we try to keep it reasonable, so that families can come. You want to be able to bring, mom, dad, the two children, and still be able to enjoy yourselves. And it's 2 full hours of delightful dances. Like I said, the babies are gonna set the stage for you to be won over.
Yeah.
And then the older ones are just going to come in and give you that strong finish.
Yes. Okay. I want to give both of you an opportunity for some closing comments as well, starting with you, Ms. Donalds, and then on to Ms. Eden.
Certainly. Just want to encourage everyone out to come and view the hard work of all these students. They're lively, they're energetic, they love to dance, and they're going to show you that they can move and make you move as well too.
Okay.
Yes, I have to back that up, and please do come out, celebrate with the dancers, encourage them, because it definitely builds on their self-confidence, which is what we want our young dancers, our young people, to be confident in what they do, what they have to offer, because they are amazing.
Okay, and folks, don't forget that the tickets are available at the Radiance Dance Studio in Countryside Shopping Plaza Center, Audiophile Group, Winners Circle, Styles with a Difference, or you can hit them up on WhatsApp. That number is 926-1826. Don't miss the show. Get out there and support it, and maybe even one of these days you may be a part of it as well. Folks, we're going to go to our 1 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation will continue on Talk Today. I'm not sure whether or not we have other guests in the studio. If not, the phone lines will be open. We have lots to talk about. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
We are Radio Cayman,
covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your headlines. On Monday, we observed the Constitution Day holiday, and the Cayman Islands Health Services Authority wants the public to know what's going to be open when. Urgent care will be open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., accident and emergency 24 hours. The Smith Road Medical Center Pharmacy will be open from 9 to 5, and then the Anthony S. Eden Hospital Pharmacy will be open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Faith Hospital Pharmacy in Cayman Brac open 3 to 4 p.m. All district health centers, outpatient clinics in Grand Cayman and the Sister Islands will be closed on Monday and are expected to resume regular operating hours on Tuesday. Turning to international headlines, residents in parts of the U.S. as far-flung as New Jersey and Texas are contending with the devastating effects of heavy rain and thunderstorms that swept through their communities last night. The storms are being blamed for at least 3 deaths in central New Jersey, including 2 men in Plainfield who died after a tree fell onto a vehicle they were traveling in during the height of the storm. This is according to a Facebook post by the city. 2 elderly female tourists in Zambia have been killed by an elephant. They were walking safari in a national park, and police say that the victims, 68-year-old Easton Janet Taylor from the UK and 67-year-old Alison Jean Taylor from New Zealand, were attacked by a female elephant that was with a calf. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Historically, Caymanians have always had a strong connection to the sea, as it provided career opportunities, food supply, means of travel, and communication with the rest of the world. Caymanian sailors became renowned worldwide for being skilled navigators, shipbuilders, fishermen, merchants, and soldiers. A vast amount of Caymanian mariners were employed by Daniel K. Lugwood's Giant Shipping Line, National Boat Carriers. This career impacted Caymanian communities at large. One such story was that of the last voyage of the St. Clair Petrolor vessel, which exploded whilst at sea on December 6, 1960, with 29 Caymanians on board. The final trip started in November 1960 from Marcus Hook in Philadelphia via the Suez Canal on to Ras Tanura in the Persian Gulf. The ship was 789 feet long, could carry 56,000 tons of cargo, and was powered by a General Electric steam engine, 26,000 horsepower. The vessel was a unique one in that it was a self-unloading oil ore carrier and could carry both solid and liquid cargo at the same time.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor, and I want to focus the discussion on our Constitution. Of course, Constitution Day is this coming Monday, the 7th of July, and it is quite timely. Well, I hope and I trust. Let me just bear with me 1 second here, because I'm going to double check this to make sure that it isn't embargoed in any way. No, it is not embargoed. So the press release, even though it's dated the 7th of July, and today being the 4th of July, for immediate release, Acting Governor announces new appointments to the Cayman Islands Constitutional Commission. His Excellency, the Acting Governor, Franz Manderson, is pleased to announce the appointment of 3 distinguished individuals to the Cayman Islands Constitutional Commission, effective immediately. The new members of the Constitutional Commission are as follows: John Lemuel Hurlston, CVO, MBE, JP, PhD, honoris causa, as the chairman. Mr. Hurlston, background on Mr. Hurlston, brings decades of public service and leadership experience to the role. He served as Chief Secretary and Deputy Governor until his retirement in 1995 after 26 years in the Cayman Islands civil service. A respected figure in both the public and private sectors, he has held numerous directorships and was named Managing Director of Montpelier Properties Cayman Limited in 1997. Twice honored by Her Majesty the Queen, Mr. Hurlston was awarded an honorary doctorate by the University College of the Cayman Islands in 2012 and published his memoir, A Life That Counts, in 2016. The second appointment, Honorable Alex Henderson, KC, as a member. Mr. Henderson is a seasoned legal professional with 48 years of experience in litigation and arbitration. He served as a judge of the Grand Court of the Cayman Islands from 2003 to 2015, and previously as a judge of the Supreme Court of British Columbia from 1995 to 2003. He has delivered the second highest number of judgments in the history of the Grand Court and remains active in legal development as an editor of the Cayman Islands Law Reports, a member of the Law Reform Commission, and a member of the Chartered Institutes of Arbitrators and INSOL, Worldwide Federation of National Associations of Accountants and Lawyers who specialize in turnaround and insolvency. The third appointee, Annalisa Shibley, as a member. Ms. Shibley is a dual qualified litigation lawyer with expertise in commercial litigation, cross-border insolvency, and restructuring. Raised in the Cayman Islands and born in Trinidad and Tobago, she has practiced law in both the Cayman Islands and Hong Kong. Her international perspective and commercial acumen brings valuable diversity and insight to the Commission's work. As to the role of the Constitutional Commission, the Constitutional Commission is a 3-person independent body established under Section 118 of the Cayman Islands Constitution Order 2009. It plays a vital role in advising the government on constitutional matters, publishing materials to foster informed public discussion, and promoting understanding and awareness of the Constitution and its values. Its core functions include advising the government on questions concerning constitutional status and developments in the Cayman Islands. And I'm going to pause there for a second because, I can't read everything without me injecting my little opinion here and there. So advising the government. Many times, folks, unfortunately, that advice is not taken. A lot of the advice given, guidance given by the constitutional commissioners, they are ignored, unfortunately. As a result of that, that is why we see less and less meaningful amendments to our constitutions, because we have seen some that I personally believe are more self-serving than anything else. So just my comments on advising the government on questions concerning constitutional status and development in the islands. Also, there are other functions include publishing reports, discussion papers, and international documents on constitutional issues, which past commissioners have done an excellent job on. Promoting understanding and awareness of the Constitution, and we saw the last one, the last commission there, even going as far as creating like a comic book for students so that they have a better understanding of our Constitution as well. And another function is exercising any additional functions as may be prescribed by law. Commission members, all of whom volunteer their time, they are appointed by the governor in consultation with the premier and the leader of the opposition. So the announcement in honor of Constitution Day, this announcement is being made in celebration of Constitution Day, 7th of July. The appointment of these distinguished individuals underscore the ongoing commitment to upholding and strengthening the Constitution, the rule of law, and good governance in the Cayman Islands. And the acting governor, Honorable Franz Manderson, in his statement, he says, and I quote, "I am very pleased to announce the appointment of these three highly accomplished individuals to the Constitutional Commission. Their extensive experience, diverse perspectives, and unwavering commitment to public service will be invaluable to the Commission's important work in strengthening understanding of our Constitution and supporting good governance in the Cayman Islands." And folks, if you want more information about the Constitutional Commission, you can visit www.constitutionalcommission.ky. And when we return from the commercial break, if there are no callers online, I will share some information, very valuable information that is on the Commission's website. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Get ready! The fire of revival is coming! It's the great evangelistic campaign, Cayman Islands under the power of the Holy Ghost. Guest speaker Apostle Jose Duarte from Paraguay will be ministering throughout Grand Cayman, bringing a powerful word and the anointing of the Holy Spirit. Services begin Friday, June 27 at First Assembly of God and run through June 9. Don't miss the services in West Bay on June 30 and July 1 at Heritage Park and in Bordentown on July 3 at Public Beach. Come for healing. Come for breakthrough. Come experience the power of the Holy Ghost. For full schedule details, call Sister Vilma Hawkins at 923-8954.
Did you know? Families that had seamen working on foreign ships received an allotment each month. This was a portion of the seamen's wages, which was sent home to their wives, sisters, or mothers to maintain the family. These women would manage these monies and oversee the building of houses for their men at sea. It was a great accomplishment to come home from the sea and have a finished home to live in. There are testimonies from women who went down to the sea themselves and collected the small rocks and broken shells to mix the cement with and poured the walls of the house.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. No guests in the studio. Or toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Or the numbers 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. Monday, 7th of July, Constitution Day here in the Cayman Islands. We have a real rich history of our Constitution that can be found on the Constitutional Commission's website as well. And in that history, there are sections that talk about isolation, neglect, and a constitutional anomaly that existed in the Cayman Islands. And it talks about that compared with many of the other larger islands in the Caribbean, the Cayman Islands was not such an attractive proposition for European colonists. As a result, when England took formal control of the Cayman Islands in 1670 as a crown colony, the people who had settled here following grants of land by the British Crown in 1734 and 1741 were largely left to fend for themselves. While, for the purposes of colonial expediency, the Cayman Islands were administered through Jamaica at this time, there was no formal constitutional underpinning of the relationship with Jamaica or indeed the relationship between the Cayman Islands and the United Kingdom. It is in this context of relative isolation and neglect that the Assembly of Justices and Vestry was unilaterally established in the Cayman Islands in 1831 in order to make laws that were sensitive to local needs. This isolation and neglect continued through into the 1850s, during which time a sense of self-reliance became ingrained. However, the informal constitutional arrangement in the Cayman Islands could not survive indefinitely, and inevitably, constitutional and administrative uncertainties eventually arose. These uncertainties, including the relationship between the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, the extent of authority of the government of Jamaica over the Cayman Islands, and the relationship between the Cayman Islands and Jamaican courts. So, and then it goes on to talk about Jamaica dependency, which we can share a little bit of that with you. You keep hearing some people say, well, Cayman was a dependency of Jamaica. We hear the correct saying that the Cayman Islands were administered as if they were a part of Jamaica, which really is the true essence of it. But we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. That's on a WhatsApp line. Oh, okay. Told that they hung up. So let's, since people always talking about this Jamaican dependency, why don't we look at it and see what the constitutional website talks about. Goes on to say that it was only with the enactment by the Imperial Parliament in London of the Act for the Cayman Islands government on the 22nd of June 1863, and I believe that simultaneously that this was also done for the Turks and Caicos Islands, but I stand to be corrected. But it was only by the enactment of the Imperial Parliament in London of the Act for the Cayman Islands government on June 22nd, 1863, that the Cayman Islands formally became declared and administered as a dependency of Jamaica. Significantly, this act authorized the governor of Jamaica, and remember now the governor of Jamaica was a British governor, to exercise authority over the Cayman Islands as if, folks, as if it were a part of Jamaica, allowed for all British acts or laws which were valid in Jamaica to be applied to the Cayman Islands, and vested the Supreme Court of Jamaica with the jurisdiction to hear any legal action that could not be tried in the islands. However, for the people of the Cayman Islands, the most significant milestone was that the 1863 Act caused the full recognition of the local legislature. Even this belated recognition was not, however, without some difficulties. For although the 1863 Act introduced a process for validating the legislation previously passed by the local legislature, the 1863 Act effectively restricted the scope of local legislative powers thereafter. Having previously had more than a free rein, the locally elected representatives did not always feel constrained by the restrictions imposed by the 1863 Act, namely the collection, custody, and expenditure of the legislative revenues, the establishment, maintenance, discipline, and powers of the police, the management, occupation, removal of public common land, the abatement of nuisances, and the construction of works and public utility. And on a number of occasions, they consequently exceeded the legislative remit stipulated in the 1863 Act. As a result of these inconsistencies, the Jamaican result of these inconsistencies, the Jamaican Parliament passed the Cayman Islands Government Law 1893, which retrospectively validated the 15 separate occasions where local legislature in the Cayman Islands had exceeded its powers between 1863 and 1893 and sought to address the underlying tensions by delegating wider powers to the local legislature, such that it was subsequently empowered to legislate for the peace, order, and good governance of these islands. Okay, you know something, folks? Had these people been living today, constitutionally, we would be so much farther ahead, because they did then what they felt was necessary, because they felt that they had to have a say in their government. They had to do what was necessary, because otherwise it meant being governed from overseas by persons who were not present in the Cayman Islands. If we only had the political fortitude now that we had then, the big question is, I wonder where we would be today. We do have a caller. Let's go to the caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. What's up?
Yeah, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when it comes to the Constitution, is there anything in that Constitution that says that the government is responsible, that the cost of living doesn't get so high that the people of the Cayman Islands aren't able to keep up with the cost of living? Is there anything in that Constitution that leaves the government responsible for situations such as that?
I would venture to say that not in those exact words, but I'm certain could find something in our Bill of Rights that talks about, and I'll have to make sure that I bring that up on the screen. But I'm sure that there is something there that talks about in our Bill of Rights that speaks to that. I would have to have some time to Google that and see what's there. Meanwhile, if there's something else that you want to continue talking about and give me time that I can bring up, or Bill of Rights, or do you want me to just find it?
Well, one thing I can say that may be in line with what I was just saying concerning the cost of living would be the Monetary Authority when it comes to the banks, and off-rig when it comes to CUC and the telephone companies, and the water companies also, right? Is off-rig responsible for the water companies also?
Yeah, I think they would be part of the utilities. Yes, I would imagine so. Yeah.
Okay. And so when banks are allowed to do things that they have been doing that haven't been fair to their customers, and when CUC have been charging people on their light bills unfairly also, and these things continue to happen, and it seems as though members of the Legislative Assembly are ignoring it or are afraid to bring these things to the floor of the House because of personal reasons that they may have with these banks or with companies such as CUC. When these things continue to get worse, is there anything in the Constitution that says that the government is responsible?
Okay, here's a part of our Constitution. It's a good question, very good question, and some constitutional lawyers may, if someone were to challenge what is taking place in the Cayman Islands, they may find some basis in our Bill of Rights for it. Of course, this part in the preamble to our Constitution is really more aspirational than anything else. But here is what we say, that in the preamble, the people of the Cayman Islands, recalling the events that have shaped their history and made them what they are, and acknowledging their distinct history, culture, and Christian heritage, and its enduring influence and contributions in shaping the spiritual, moral, and social values that have guided their development and brought peace, prosperity, and stability to these islands through the vision, forbearance, and leadership of their people, who are loyal to Her Majesty the Queen, which would now be His Majesty the King, affirm their intention to be a God-fearing country based on traditional, a country with open, responsible, and accountable government that includes a working partnership with the private sector and continuing beneficial ties with the United Kingdom. That aspiration there could cover, what you're talking about, a country with open, responsible, and accountable government. So your question would be, is our government really being accountable and including a working partnership, and has that working partnership if the cost of living is so high in the Cayman Islands that it is driving persons, into poverty, into living in the streets, into sleeping in their cars, into, elderly people having to live in homes that have no sort of temperature control. That could be a question. Yeah, quite possible. So we say that we want that to happen. A country, also a caring community based on mutual respect for all individuals and their basic human rights. Isn't good living conditions, a basic human right as well? Does that represent a caring community? Also, a country committed to the democratic values of human dignity, equality, and freedom. Is there human dignity when people have to sleep in their cars, when people can't necessarily afford to buy food that, when eaten and when prepared, makes for a healthy lifestyle as opposed to others? Safe and secure, law-abiding community. So your question is really, really quite relevant. And I would say that the preamble to our Constitution and our Bill of Rights speaks about all of those things. And many would argue that not all of them, or maybe some may say not many of them, are actually being adhered to or actually being provided. Does that help you, caller?
Yes. So to make the question shorter, is the government breaking any laws in the Constitution when they allow companies in the Cayman Islands to do as they please, which brings up the cost of living so high that it causes people health problems when it comes to stress, depression, and anxiety?
I would.
That is the question, because if it's causing people stress, depression, and anxiety, which are some serious health problems, because of the government allowing companies to do as they please by increasing the cost of living, by these companies increasing their bills or whatever you want to call it, and the government does nothing about it. Is the government breaking the law by allowing this to happen?
I would say that the government is not living up to the spirit of our Constitution and the aspirations that they have inspired in our Constitution, the things that they say that what the government is all about, what the government should be doing, that they're not living up to it. I couldn't go as far, and I'm not a lawyer, to say that they're breaking any law. Maybe their failure to implement, and when I say they, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about any government. I'm talking about any government. Maybe their failure to implement, pass and implement robust legislation that addresses the concerns of the people who feel that they're being, that they are being, quote unquote, abused by business entities.
Okay, so the Constitution is the highest law in Cayman Islands, right?
Yeah. But bear in mind there are some parts of our Constitution that say what we aspire to do, what we aspire to achieve. And that is what I shared with you before. When we get into the meat of the Constitution, when it talks about government shall do this, government shall do that, then that's another question. So part of it is saying, you'd say, well, boy, I would like to buy this today. You aspire to buy it. The other question would be, do you have the money to buy it? Can you go and buy it?
Okay, well, to make things just pretty simple, if they have anything in that Constitution that is the law,
yeah,
that they are responsible for the cost of living in the Cayman Islands by not allowing companies to do as they please, as the governments have been doing.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any thing in the Constitution that legally holds them to that at this point in time. Good governance and everything else, but nothing specific, caller.
Okay,
and I'll give you an example. Okay, we just saw a recent constitutional challenge in terms of the governor's reserve powers, right? So that is in the Constitution that says what the governor can and cannot do, or what the governor can do. That was challenged in a court of law. I am not sure whether or not, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. A lawyer may be able to find something in the Constitution, in that regard, but I can't say, specifically of that, because I don't really have that type of training.
Okay, Mr. Orrett Connor. When it comes to the cost of living in the Cayman Islands, okay? Okay, in England, right? They take the cost of living very serious. I'll give you an example. I'm staying in England now, and my light bill for the month is $25. My water bill for the month is $15. Things such as that. When the government are allowing companies to do as they please by increasing these bills, isn't that breaking the laws of the Constitution?
Like I said before, caller, I'm not in a position to. But you can say you can opine and say that you believe that it does.
Mr. Orrett Connor, that common sense.
Well, what they say these days, common sense isn't all that common.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Very good conversation there. I'm sorry that I couldn't get through to that caller in that regard, but there are certain parts of a constitution that are aspirational, and whether or not those words that are used in the aspirational portion of our constitution can be argued in a court of law, they can be cited in a challenge. They can be cited, but whether or not it forms part and parcel, of the legal argument, I'm not sure. I leave that to, people at a higher pay grade and higher level of learning than I am, in the States. I have to admit that. So if you're a lawyer out there or even a constitutional lawyer, and you have an opinion on this, if you don't want to call in, just send a WhatsApp message, and let's hear a little bit more about that as well. So we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we return, I will continue to share with you some more about our constitutional history, with Monday, the 7th of July being Constitution Day here in the Cayman Islands.
Get ready for something sweet, spicy, and totally crave-worthy. The hot honey chicken sandwich is here, and it's bringing the heat. We've taken our tender, juicy chicken and drenched it in bold hot honey sauce for the perfect balance of sweetness and spice. But hurry, this one's only here for a limited time. Hot honey chicken. Try it today before it's gone. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Adelaide, what it is you have there in your hand looking at so intently on this porch?
These your shipping out papers, Paul. I saved them all these years. Don't know why.
Yes, they are important things that tell the story of us seamen. All the places we went and all the sacrifice we made.
And we sacrificed too. No man to help us manage the home, the grounds, The children, that was hard work, but what a joy it was when Annie came home.
Boy, Adelaide, we were brave people, stepping off of this beautiful rock onto the edge of the whole wide world. And you all here suddenly becoming financial managers and overseeing construction. Some strong women.
We set this country on the map for sure. Every bit of our modern foundation came from Cayman's allotments and women's hands. I'm so excited we're going to be celebrated on July 10th at the Voices of the Sea, launching the Cayman Seafarers Registry. Come on, let's go pick out what we gonna wear. This can be a real figure. A good old time.
Celebrate Cayman at the Cabinet Office cordially invites one and all to come out to Voices of the Sea, launching the Cayman's Seafarers Registry to celebrate our seamen and our proud history of seafaring. Thursday, July 10th, 5:30 p.m. at the Veterans and Seamen's Association Hall in Cayman Brac.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Paul, any callers? One caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Connor.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Oh, not bad. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks.
Mr. Connor, it seemed to me like England is the place to be.
Yep.
And have me a good quality cup of tea. I'm telling you. Yes, sir. It sounds good, though.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds good. But Mr. Connor, what's happening with the finances of our present finances of the government, though?
In what way?
Like their I don't know if I should say their fiscal position. When it concerns the talk about deficit or projected deficit and that sort of thing. I would like to get a bit of clarity on it. I'd like to know what our position is financially. Because I think I saw in the in one of those newspapers, Cayman Times, I think it was, that it is expected that one cruise ship will be coming. I don't know if it's next week or the week after. So something got to take place. I mean, and it has been that way for quite some time. We can't blame this government. We cannot blame this government for anything. And I don't know who you could blame, to be honest. But I can remember. I mean, I live in Georgetown. I can remember seeing a regular 4 or 5 ships for the day. A lot of ships, and it was a pleasure to see a lot of these good tourists come to Cayman and enjoy themselves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I've been made to understand also, listening to the media, that it have a lot to do with entertainment. I met a lot of tourists, and they a lot of them want to experience Caribbean food. They want, they used to like to go to those places that got a lot of entertainment. Margaritaville used to be packed. That used to be packed with tourists, and enjoying themselves and stuff. So I don't know what's happening, but I would just like. I mean, I don't get any direct benefit from it, really. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. But I would like to see some good. I think we need a lot of entertainment, much more entertainment when it concerns that area too, because the tourists like that, they like to go there and they like to drink the little beer and they like to dance and have fun and all that sort of thing. And I would like to, as a Cayman, and I would like to see there be more entertainment for our tourists. You know what I mean, Mr. Connor?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm looking for, while you're talking, I'm looking, because I think that the Minister for Tourism quite recently that a meeting with the tourism at the Cayman Islands Tourism Association's Hospitality and Tourism Forum made a comment about tourism in the Cayman Islands, and I'll find it. And you go ahead, continue talking while I find that, and I'll share that with you. Go ahead. Yeah.
And also, I know I don't expect to be the type of person that would blame any politicians or anything like that, because I know that their tourism is quite a touchy area, and it's a few different reasons why tourism would be on a low. But at the same time, being made to understand that other islands may be flourishing big time, and then they say that this may be the slow season. Some people say it's a slow season. So, I mean, I've been watching it year after year and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know what I mean, people have their different opinions and stuff like that on why it's on a low. I know I don't want to even talk too much about it, but I would just like to see it really looking good. Look at our position as people improve. That's what I'm really saying. That's what I want to see. I like to know that we're in a very good position financially, and that we can move around and get out of debt.
Well, the Economics and Statistics Office, they just release some results which speak to the fact, which talks about that the Cayman's economy expanded by an estimated 3.3% in the 9 months of 2024. Those are statistics that they have released. So it seems as if Cayman Islands still doing good in some respects. Not everyone would say that they find themselves, in that category, but it seems to be doing pretty good.
Okay, right. But I know that at least I've heard some good things. But one thing that, and I believe in making my little contribution, whether secretly or publicly, to better our island. But I would like to see us get out of debt. Don't have to borrow. I'm a person, I never borrowed from the bank in my life, and I don't believe in borrowing. If I'm going to borrow something, it would be $25 or $100 if I borrow something from anyone. In other words, no borrowing. That's what I believe in. I don't believe in that. I believe in being in a different kind of position. That's my belief. So I think that the people on the radio, sometimes we need to get more serious and try to forward more ideas and try to contribute towards the greater success, callers and stuff like that. We can't joke around. We got to work with the governments of the present government, work with the future governments toward the betterment of the Cayman Islands. Instead of rowing and fussing and cursing and stuff like that. And I don't believe in talking anything bad about politicians either, because they don't have an easy job. They have a hard job.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's not easy.
Yes, sir. So I don't believe in talking bad about them, because they have a lot of, they have their own lives and they got a difficult job. But at the same time, I'm hoping for things, and I believe it will get a lot better. Like I say, Mr. O.C., I believe in and quite a few are politicians,
Mm-hmm.
I believe in them. When my grandfather was in office, there's an elderly gentleman that used to tell me. He tells me that the people would follow my grandfather anywhere he goes. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
Before you go, let me share this with you. What the minister at that forum spoke about. In terms of stayover arrivals, he said, turning to our attention to air arrivals, I am pleased to report that stayover arrivals have steadily increased month over month. This year, between January and May of 221,490 visitors arrived on our shores, up 5.9% from 2024. The recent announcement of direct service from Toronto and Ottawa with Porter Airlines is a win for our destination. This new service, which starts in December, will add 528 more seats into Grand Cayman each week from two major cities in Canada, reflective of the strong demand. I want to see, it speaks about room stock as well. Let's see what was said in relation to cruise tourism, if I can find that. If I find it, I will read it, because we have to go to our headline news at this point in time, but I know you will continue to listen. If I find what he has spoken to in relation to cruise tourism, I will share that with you and the rest of our listening audience as well. Caller, thank you very much for your call. We do have to go to our headline news. Folks, please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Bright. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
I'm April Cummings with your headlines. Police do not believe a third party was involved in the death of 47-year-old Judy Ann Miles, whose body was found in a burned-out car in Boddentown back in April. Her case has now been sent to the coroner's court for determination. Investigators previously said that it appeared the fire had been intentionally set. In international headlines, Israeli airstrikes killed 15 Palestinians in Gaza early today, while a hospital said another 20 people died in shootings while waiting for aid. Meantime, the UN Human Rights Office says it has recorded 613 Palestinians killed within the span of a month in Gaza while trying to obtain aid. Most were killed while trying to reach food distribution points run by an Israeli-backed American organization, while others were massed waiting for aid trucks connected to the United Nations or other humanitarian organizations. The Pan American Health Organization says there's been a total of 7,132 confirmed cases of measles and 13 deaths in the region of the Americas, including the Caribbean, as of mid-June 2025. According to the latest PAHO epidemiological update, it represents a 29-fold increase compared to the 244 cases reported during the same period in 2024. 9 countries, including Belize, have reported cases so far this year. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I am your guest host, Orrett Connor, and we have about less than half an hour to go in the show this afternoon, and this will be the last broadcast until Tuesday afternoon next week, because Monday is a holiday, Constitution Day. So continuing on the last caller that we had, I was sharing with him the minister's remarks at the tourism forum. In relation to the cruise sector, here's what our Minister for Tourism said. He says, turning now to cruise, he said, I know that some of you here today represent the cruise sector and have expressed concerns due to the outcome of the referendum. So I want to clearly state for the record that I am committed to ensuring that the cruise sector remains a strong, sustainable pillar of our tourism industry. Based on the current forecast, passenger arrivals for 2025 are projected to be a little over 1.15 million, which is about 80,000 passengers or 6% higher than passenger arrivals in 2024. Current projections indicate similar passenger arrivals in 2026, and we are currently showing 790,943 passenger arrivals for 2027. It should be noted that the figures for 2027 are still 2 years in advance and are subject to change when cruise lines submit their schedule of expected calls for 2027 and 2028 to the Port Authority later this year. I appreciate, again, these are the minister's words, I appreciate the cruise sector's value to our economy, to jobs, and to the many small businesses that depend on its success to pay their mortgages, raise their families, and educate their children. But I also understand that the cruise industry is evolving, passenger expectations are shifting, and competition from other ports continues to grow. I regard these things, again, the minister speaking, I regard these things not as threats, but as opportunities to redefine our cruise product so that it is more sustainable, more strategic, and provides more benefits to Caymanians. I will be working alongside my ministry team to develop a comprehensive national cruise tourism strategy that will be one, rooted in data, 2, informed by stakeholder input, 3, aligned with market trends. This will not be a document that sits on a shelf, but rather will provide clear direction for how we manage and grow this sector into the future. I am aware that developing a comprehensive cruise strategy and collecting and analyzing data will take time. So, in parallel, I will be working with my team on having an interim cruise tourism plan in place by the end of this year. The interim plan will guide our actions over the next 12 months, ensuring that we remain focused and responsive while the broader strategy is being finalized. In addition, I am committed to maintaining the ministry's long-standing relationship with cruise lines. I also plan to attend the FCCA's conference this October, where I will personally engage with cruise line executives to discuss their long-term plans for the Cayman Islands. Just like the stay-over side of the industry, the cruise sector is about people, our people, and I am committed to ensuring that Caymanian tour guides, transport operators, artisans, and vendors are not left behind as the industry evolves. I will help to provide training and upskilling opportunities for those who want to pivot their services, and I will do my best to ensure that our cruise product is not only profitable, but is also proudly Caymanian, proudly welcoming, and proudly world-class. Again, let me be clear. This is not me speaking, folks. This is our minister. Again, let me be clear. Cruise tourism is not a second-tier product, and it is not something we do on the side. It is and must remain an integral part of our tourism economy. I will treat it with the seriousness and strategic focus it deserves to ensure that it is resilient, relevant, and rewarding for our visitors and our people. So you can't get stronger statements, stronger words than those delivered by the Deputy Premier and the Minister of Tourism at the Tourism Association's forum here, and he speaks strongly about cruise tourism. He didn't try to decapitate it in any way. He didn't try to dismiss it in any way. He didn't say anywhere here that it is less important than anything else. And until we see otherwise, we have to take the Deputy Premier and Minister of Tourism at his word. I must say that he has competent support staff for him to be able to achieve those things that he wants to achieve and to solidify the position of the cruise industry here in the Cayman Islands. And so I'm glad that I was able to share that with you. I want to thank my colleague here at Radio Cayman, Miss April Cummins, for providing me with this information earlier this morning, because it has come in so handy based on the question that one of our listeners or callers posed as well, because it gave me an opportunity to share that and within the proper context as the caller raised the question as well. Again, thanks, caller, for that, and thanks to Miss April Cummings for providing me, with that as well. Also, I want to thank the Minister for his optimistic, enthusiastic outlook and his commitment to the work that he is going to do to continue to make cruise tourism in the Cayman Islands a viable option for Caymanians as well. With that, we're going to take our last commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned. Talk Today will be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor. We have about 15 minutes left to go in the show, and that will be it until Tuesday afternoon for Talk Today. Of course, I'm sure that on Tuesday morning, you will have the buzz as well. That will be hosted by Miss Kathy Miller. Meanwhile, this morning we had in the studio with us the Minister for Health, as well as the Minister for Youth, Culture and Heritage. So we had Minister Isaac Rankin and Minister Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes, and we're talking about mental health facilities, housing, and later on the conversation spilled over into mental health. It continued after they left at around about 8:45. One of our listeners shared this, and I promised them I would share it on this afternoon's show. They point out that Island Primary School, I think it is, here on Island, that they have an emotional support teacher who children can see to discuss anything that is bothering them from home or at school, and they go go on to point out that the school would be a prime example of what is possible at other schools on the island as well. And I'm glad that they shared this with us. The rhetorical question would be, if there are other schools that provide such a valuable service, are they letting their clientele know about it? Are they telling the students that this is available? Are they telling parents that these services are available as well? So again, Island Primary, they have an emotional support teacher who children can see, discuss any issues that are bothering them, either at home or at school. And this is a prime example of what is possible in other schools on the island as well. Also, one of our listeners asked me if I could share the article on the prefects in the school so that they could share that with the minister, and I have forwarded that on to the individual as well. I want to finish off the show this afternoon because Monday, of course, is Constitution Day. I want to talk a little bit more about that, but before we do that, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, they have issued a traffic advisory for road closures for the Cayman Carnival Street Parade that will take place tomorrow, the 5th of July. And they indicate they want to inform the public about the following road closures taking place on Saturday, the 5th of July, in order to facilitate the Cayman Carnival Street Parade. From 11 a.m. until 2 p.m., South Church Street will be closed between Memorial Avenue and Boilers Road in preparation for the parade. So between 11 and 2, South Church Street between Memorial Avenue and Boilers Road. The parade commences at 2 p.m. and rolling road closures will be implemented along the designated parade route to ensure the safety of participants and spectators. As the parade progresses, roads will be reopened in sections once it is safe to do so. And they have a long list, which I will not attempt to burden you with the long list of roads that will be closed and reopened as well. I would just say to you that if you are on our roads and if you see that traffic is moving slowly, just please be patient, because an event is taking place that starts at 2 p.m. My advice to you would be, if you have to do anything, try to do it before then so that you don't have to be on the roads at that point in time. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Mr. Ossie, Mario Eubanks here.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Eubanks. How are you?
Afternoon to you and all the listeners. I just wanted to say a few words at the end of the week. I probably one of the last callers for today now.
Okay.
But I just want to comment on minimum wage for a minute. I am very happy to see that the minimum wage has been increased. As a former director of Labour, this is a battle that I've been fighting for a long time, even before being in that role. And one of the dangers with all this, of course, is that they oftentimes in legislation, things are meant to be done more timely, and it's left for a long time before it's done. So when the Labour law was passed in 1984, 85, there was a provision for minimum wage, but it was never brought into force until about 2015, I think it was, 2015, somewhere around there, at $6. So I'm happy that, however it has come about, and there's been various attempts that at least the government has found it possible to make a decision to address this long overdue deficiency. And even 875 is not the greatest, but at least it's a start. And hopefully it'll be indexed and done every couple of years based on the CPI or the pricing index to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I want to say also, Mr. Connor, is, and I know you appreciate this too, is that I've heard some comments made in certain quarters and the talk shows and otherwise, people saying, well, let's don't bother with increasing the minimum wage because all you're going to do is give more money to the low-cost expatriate workers to send home. I thought about that quite a bit, and I think for a Christian nation and for a nation that has in our constitution, in the preamble, those very wonderful values of Christianity and Christian heritage, that as a country we shouldn't be thinking that way, because let's not forget also that our own Caymanian seamen in the 50s, 60s, and 70s went overseas, and based on what I've been hearing over the years and reading, listening to people, family and friends who've been there or who have relatives who've been seafarers, that a lot of the money, a lot of things that they got over there that was paid for by their employers, including transportation to and from Cayman to catch the ship and to come back home, and other living expenses, but also a lot of the money that the allotments that by those seafarers helped to build the Cayman Islands. And so what if the approach was taken back then that, let's not pay the foreign workers as much because they're going to send their money home. So, I just wondered about that kind of thinking.
And what's the purpose? What's the purpose of them coming here to work?
Yeah, that's right. They're coming here to work to better themselves, better their families. And if they now I don't support importing property and bringing people in who are going to work for peanuts and try to keep the wage rate and whatnot, right? But we have to pay everybody a fair living wage, and I think that when the people come, it's a global village now. People move around, right? And so they come here to cover their expenses to live, but also to provide something for their retirement back home and send something for their family. So, like I said, that is part of it. But I just don't want us to think that way as a country, as a Christian country, that we look at, well, let's not worry about them because they want to send their money home. That's not the way that I think humankind should be thinking. And finally, may I say to you as well, sir, that if a business cannot afford to pay a worker a reasonable living wage, that business model, the viability of that business ought to be looked at, because it may not be viable for that business to be in existence if they can't pay a reasonable living wage. And, I think that might sound harsh, but it is also common sense and economics as well. But like I say, I'm glad to see the minimum wage increased, and I hope that we'll move forward and keep it up to date with on par with inflation and with the consumer price index, and that we think about all people, all workers, as being human beings and worthy of a fair living wage and working conditions. I thank you for your time, sir, and my time is sort of up unless you have a question for me, but keep up the good work and happy long weekend and a safe one for all of our people. And just like you, Mr. Orrett, I know you mentioned the other day about our dear friend, Miss Riselda Eubanks.
Yes.
And when I called last time, I forgot to mention her as well. And I know you have done it a couple of occasions, but I wanted to give sympathy to all of the bereaved families, but also the family of dear Riselda, a good citizen of a good citizen, a good worker and advocate for Isle of Pines, Cuba, and a great person. And I'm sorry that she's no longer with us.
Yes, it will be greatly missed. Really, really. Yes.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eubanks, as well. Thank you. Let's see. have another ESO media release here. An employment rate for the last 6 months of 2024 was down to 2.4% as well. I wonder what it was for Caymanians, if that unemployed Caymanians decreased by 8.3% to a certain amount, and the employed to a lower rate, 4.6% for Caymanians. So it's still higher than the overall average. Paul, the phone lines will be closed off now. We've closed them off completely. Let me see if we can very quickly go back to, okay. Couple of WhatsApp messages. Yeah, let me look at those. One of the listeners, and can't really opine too much on this, but I'll read it anyway. They say, what does the Royal Cayman Island Police Service mean by not looking at a third party involvement in the Julian Miles death investigation? Does that imply certain things, and they have given their interpretation of a third party. Yeah, that needs a little bit of explanation. I'm sure it'll come. This person says, Amen, Mr. Mario. God's blessings to you. You are so right. Thank you, sir. I've been asking this question for a long time. The seamen sent theirs back home. Yeah, no one should understand that more than Caymanians. If you're familiar with what Cayman was in the earlier days as well, we relied on the remittances. That is what built this country, at the end of the day. And bear in mind that at the end of the day, we're talking about human beings. Shouldn't you want every human being to live the way that you do? Not replicate it, but at least be able to earn an honest living, to support their families wherever they are, because they're all, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And this one says $8.75 is an attempt to raise the pay scale, but it's not where it needs to be to sustain our own Caymanians. So, this pay scale will only afford the expats a little more money to send home. Yep. And it will afford those Caymanians who are not yet making $8.75 to make that as well. And I am not sure that there's going to be a whole lot of pushback from this at the end of the day, if what we're hearing is correct, that there are many companies out there, many entities that are already paying at least, if not more than $8.75 per hour. So just on the constitutional thing, wasn't able to share much more with you. But just to share this part in terms of our first constitution, coming from the Constitutional Commission's website, one important result of the West Indies Federation was the creation of the first written constitution for the Cayman Islands, when the Cayman Islands and Turks and Caicos Islands Act was passed by the United Kingdom Parliament in 1958. This created a direct constitutional link between the Cayman Islands and the United Kingdom, which subsequently facilitated a Cayman Islands constitution on the 4th of July, 1959, by way of Royal Order in Council. Obtaining a written constitution was a significant political advancement for the Cayman Islands, as the islands were now specifically exempt from the control of the Jamaican legislature and were, for the time being, placed directly under the authority of the Jamaican government. And remember, bear in mind that the Jamaican governor was a British governor, because at that point in time, Jamaica was not an independent country. There were also radical changes to the legislature. After 129 years, the body of vestrymen and justices was replaced by a legislative assembly, the membership of which was reduced from 35 to 18 members, comprised of 12 elected members, 3 nominated members, and 3 official members. The most obvious change experienced by the average Caymanian through this new constitution was that all adult Caymanians were now given the right to vote and stand for elections. However, for women, the road to universal adult suffrage was not straightforward. In 1948, and it talks about the women who signed the petition and everything else. And just to say that while we received that constitution in 1972, it took us from 1972 to 2009, 72, 28, and 9, 37 years before we ended up with a new constitution that at that time was sort of fit for purpose. But as we know, Constitution, it is a living document. It can be added upon, it can be worked upon as well, and we certainly need to do some more work on ours as well. Folks, that is it for me for this week. Long holiday weekend. Please stay safe out there. If you're on our roads, drive carefully. If you're celebrating, whatever you do, please do it in moderation. Have a great weekend. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these 3 beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen.
Radio